Smackdown come to Scotland. Yes, well, they certainly come to Scotland. Probably had Scotland dancing more than their football team did in the Euros, but we won't get there because I know Fiona will not be very happy. Coincidentally, Team Buckles, Fiona Loughran and her son Oscar were at the show. They got a great picture with Kevin Owens that I was sent a little bit just after the show finished, actually, well, just a little while ago, to be quite honest with you. Which was fun. And so I'm glad that they had a great time, and Team Buckles Fiona was representing us over at Smackdown in Glasgow this week. It has been a great start to what is going to be an interesting weekend. Now, one bit of news to come out of the well, not to come out of it, is that CM Punk is in Glasgow, Scotland. Make of that what you will as we head into Clash of the Castle. Drew McIntyre did say actually that he was would walk away, I think he said, if he wasn't successful in beating Damian Priest for the World Championship. Does he do it? I think he does. It's one of those things, either Punk's going to cost him or Punk's going to come out at the end and have a face-off with him. I'm not sure which one I'm going to go for yet. I am undecided, but that's the intrigue. And that's what WWE have done well with this, the intrigue of Punk. He's kind of just been away a little bit. And then he come back on NXT just this past week, Battleground. And then we haven't seen him this week, but he is in Scotland. I've seen a picture. He is in Scotland. It is a legit picture. It's Punk in Scotland. Well, we're going to see more stuff. Smackdown this week, was a great, was a really enjoyable. The crowd were great. Scottish crowd represented. WWE are going to have a think about this international crowd stuff, because no disrespect to the Americans, and they get it. They get this WWE week in, week out. So when it comes abroad, like when it comes internationally, the countries represent. And I don't know if WWE are going to be doing more of this, but I think what they do very well is they have these sort of double shows. Maybe they may even do a triple show going forward. Perhaps they'll look at doing SmackDown, pay-per-view, Raw. I don't know, but nevertheless, crowd was great. AJ Styles did make a point on they've done like a pre-show to SmackDown, and AJ Styles come out and he was very much interested in the crossover to TNA. It's great news. Bit of contract news, 2 bits of contract news. It seems as though Natalya and Chad Gable are staying with WWE. No official word on that, but it's looking very likely that both will be staying. So interesting to see what happens with those two going forward, if that is the case. Natty, thank you for the follow on X, by the way. We appreciate it. Oh, I just need to shout out you guys. I have to shout out you guys. This week, our YouTube platform exploded with followers following Lance Archer's interview. We have gained this week alone over 1,000 new YouTube subscribers. Big thank you to every single one of you, the people that have been there before, people that have followed us before that, people that followed us from day one. Thank you. And for the new 1,000 viewers, followers that we've got this week, a big welcome to the show, a big thank you. And just believe me when I tell you, we're not stopping from there. We're going to get some other big interviews coming up. There is some special stuff in the works. I can't say anything yet, but just a big thank you and a big welcome to you all. And feedback is obviously greatly welcome, but big thanks to every single one of you that have joined the channel this week. Anyway, SmackDown, look, I think talking points from SmackDown, well, the women, Piper Niven got a great response this week. So Chelsea Green and Naomi kicked off the show. Bayley was with Naomi, as she always is. And obviously Piper Niven getting a great reaction from the fans over in Scotland. They didn't do much to enhance that particular element, the Bayley Piper Niven. There was a bit backstage after where Piper squashed them both up against the wall. But Naomi did pick up the victory on this one. But yeah, that Blair Davenport actually was showing in the back as well, just before Piper Niven squashed them against the wall, and she was talking with Bayley. So is that something that could potentially follow from Bayley. We know Nia Jax is next in line for the title, so it's an old could be a repeat of the old NXT days with Bayley and Nia Jax. Could be Piper Niven in Nia Jax in what would be a massive clash. Wow, that would be interesting. But yeah, interesting with this one. They didn't really build too much on the Piper Niven Bayley feud on this. Like I said before, it was definitely more to do with the other two, Naomi and Chelsea. But it'll be interesting to see what happens what happens at Clash at the Castle. Who reigns supreme? I think Bayley picks up the victory. I really do on that. I don't like to upset my fellow Scottish people, but I do think that they would pick up the victory on this one. Interestingly enough, on this, they did play up next was DIY was a guest on the Grayson Waller Experience, who did have Austin Theory with them. They are definitely planting the seeds of an Austin Theory face turn. That is without a doubt in the works very, very soon. They had DIY on there and they was just sort of trying to plant the seeds. They're actually begging for a match for the titles, which didn't happen. But they did say that, Austin Theory was basically Grayson Waller pulled Austin Theory in front of I think it was Ciampa or Gargano last week when they was having their match last week, and Austin Theory was trying to talk, and every time Austin Theory was trying to talk, Grayson Waller was cutting him off. So interestingly enough, the Austin Theory face turn is definitely in the works. I can see them dropping the titles to DIY, and I can then see Waller turning on Theory, and Austin Theory is a face turn. I think they need to do something with Austin Theory because there is a talent there. We've already mentioned, that since the John Cena thing, Austin Theory's never really recovered from it. And I think a face turn could help the situation for Austin Theory. Something needs to change, and maybe that is the right thing for them to do at this time to put a face turn onto Austin Theory. When will it happen? Could happen. Well, I think as soon as the tag match for the titles is announced, it will happen either there or the next week. Sometimes they have their rematch and then they lose the rematch and then it gets here. So I think either when they lose the tag titles or when they lose the rematch for the tag titles. But the moment that title match is announced on Smackdown or for a pay-per-view, maybe Money in the Bank, that is when we'll see the split of Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, and we'll see Austin Theory as a face. Not sure. We'll have to see how that goes when it happens. Interestingly, with SmackDown, and we're seeing this a little bit now, people that we haven't seen in a while. Apollo Crews got drafted. Now, he was meant to have a match last week. He got attacked. Apollo Crews was took on Santos Escobar this week, but also we've seen a return of a face, Baron Corbin. Got a great reaction, by the way, when he come out. I mean, to be honest, everyone was getting a good reaction. Glasgow crowd was really hot, but Cruz had Escobar first in a match. Obviously, the LWO was it ringside? No, Liga del Fantasma. They were a part of the LWO. Liga del Fantasma were at ringside. But they can. What I see here is like Apollo Cruz and Escobar can do some really incredible high flying moves. But obviously the power advantage was with Apollo Crews because he, there is a size difference there. Apollo Crews is much more stockier, but they can both flip around the place as well. And it was when it was a really good back and forth match actually. The Liga del Fantasma did try to attack Apollo Crews, distract him. Corbin comes out and tries to help Apollo Crews. And then there was a bit where basically Elektra Lopez tripped Apollo Crews and then basically Santos rolled him up. But we could be seeing Apollo Crews and Baron Corbin as a tag team on this. Interesting to see that. I'm interested to see where that goes with that. Apollo Crews and Baron Corbin. Could it work as a tag team? Maybe. We'll have to wait and see for sure. Nia Jax just absolutely obliterated. Mia Yim in this. Nia Jax, I think they're just pushing Nia Jax ready for the title shot. Mia Yim, unfortunately, it's just one of those. But will Nia Jax be the one to dethrone Bayley? Or was Piper Niven going to dethrone Bayley and Nia Jax go against Piper Niven? It's interesting, but Nia Jax is certainly she's certainly being built ready for a title. I don't know whether she will win the championship, but she's being built in that way. And squashing me, probably didn't do either of them any favors, really, but just carries on the build for Nia Jax. But Cody and AJ, they did trade some interesting insults. Yes, AEW. Well, AEW wasn't mentioned by name, but it basically AJ Styles was saying that Cody Rhodes has quit everywhere that he's gone. He quit the WWE, he quit Ring of Honor, he quit New Japan, he started a company and then quit the company. Uh, Cody's response was basically, he felt he had to quit every company for something bigger. So, there we go. They did trade some insults. They're getting ready for their I Quit match. I like see my plan for this and how I think this is going to happen. What will happen is AJ Styles will say I quit, and he may, and this is just because thinking of the crossover, thinking bit of he may quit and go back to TNA. Remember when I said at the draft, I said it'd be really good if AJ Styles was drafted to NXT and they built NXT around AJ Styles. I said that. You look back through the reviews that we've done, and I did indeed say that for sure. And they could have done that, they didn't. But I think now AJ Styles heads off to TNA at the end of this. I think he quits. He quits in this match. He quits WWE and goes over to TNA. That's how I see it happening. I really, really do. And I think that'd be great. It would be great for AJ. It would be great for TNA. It'd be great for WWE. They should have just moved him to NXT. Nothing wrong with it. They could have just built the whole brand around him, and he could have had bangers in there. You look at Trick Williams, and we could have had Ilya Dragunov, before he got moved to Raw, and all sorts of that stuff could have happened. I really think they've missed the boat here with that, but it could work very nicely for TNA if I think they could do that if AJ quits WWE and then heads off back to TNA. I think that'd be great. I'd love to see AJ Styles back in TNA. There is so much he could do there for the brand. I'll be looking forward to watching this match at the Clash as well. Now, something else we could get at the Clash, but we may get on Raw. We've been talking about this for weeks and months. Uncle Howdy. Yes, another QR code hit this week on Smackdown. And it's another countdown, and we're closer and closer and closer to getting the reveal, the people involved. Is it going to be tonight? Are we going to see it tonight and it carry on to Monday? Are we just going to see it on Monday or Monday Night Raw? I don't know. But the time is ticking for the Uncle Howdy faction. We will see it. I kind of want it a little bit tonight. I really do want to get a hint tonight and then maybe the full reveal on Raw. But it is coming finally. And then we will really see. The question I've been asking all of this time was, would the hype be better than the after the reveal? Well, we will be revealing who you are very, very soon. The massacre will be here. It's just when and who. And actually, when it happens, who they are, and who they target, and why they target. They're going to be the interesting factors that play into this Uncle Howdy reveal, but it's finally going to happen either at Clash or on Raw this coming Monday. Funny spot on SmackDown this week was LA Knight. Logan Paul was coming home. He said, and as he walked through the door, he dropped his bags. He's talking to his friend. He said, "Oh yeah, your mate from LA's in the pool." He was like, what are you talking about? Like, your mate from LA's in the pool. Goes to his pool. LA Knight is showing up at Logan Paul's house. He's in his swimming pool. They have a bit of a jagger back and forth, and basically says that he'll see Logan next week on SmackDown. So we're heading to United States. Are we heading towards WWE finally pulling the trigger on Logan Paul, on LA Knight and him winning the United States Championship? I really hope so. I think it's now or never for the megastar, and hopefully he'll be the one to dethrone Logan Paul and win the United States Championship. But they're heading for a collision course, not a match, but a collision course, I believe, next week on SmackDown. Now, the Bloodline, interesting for this. I honestly thought so the main event was Solo Sikoa, Kevin Owens. I would have thought that this match would have been on the pay-per-view. Just an opinion. But it wasn't. It was on SmackDown. Now they did have the Bloodline banned from ringside. They all attacked Owens and the Street Profits earlier on. They're all banned from ringside in this match. So it was just Solo and it was just Paul Heyman going out ringside against Kevin Owens. And Solo did say to Paul Heyman that if he lost this match, he would be coming after him. Sorry, wise man. But what I would say was this: I think this was Solo Sikoa's best one-on-one match he's had in his main roster career. I thought it was great. These are two guys that pride themselves on hard hitting offense. It was the match of the night. It was absolutely brilliant. There was so much going on in it as well. Kevin Owens would have won the match had it wasn't for Paul Heyman putting Solo Sikoa's foot on the bottom rope after he hit the stunner on him. But two Samoan spikes later, and Solo Sikoa picks up the victory, and Paul Heyman is saved at least for a week. Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa then immediately hit the ring to take out Kevin Owens. And just when it looked like Kevin Owens was getting annihilated, we all heard voices in our head. Randy Orton comes to ringside. You do see a very excited Fiona Lochran during that. They were sitting at the front row. And you see Fiona a few times during the night, but I will say this. You do see a very excited Fiona Lochran when Randy Orton comes out to ringside. So just try and see if you can see her at the ringside. Randy comes out, cleans house a few RKOs later. SmackDown goes off the air with Randy Orton and Kevin Owens standing strong. But we are at Clash at the Castle. Will Drew McIntyre win the title? Will CM Punk cost him? Will Chad Gable win the Intercontinental title? And will we see anything of Uncle Howdy? Well, we'll find out. Myself and Dave will be reviewing Clash at the Castle. I think we'll be doing it as soon as it goes off the air. So we'll be looking forward to bringing that to you later. But keep it hooked on this channel again at HTT Buckle on Twitter, hitting the Turnbuckle podcast and all other social media platforms. And again, huge thank you to you all that have followed us over the past week. We promise you that the content will be flowing. Some more interviews are coming, and we could be announcing a couple of special ones very, very soon. I hope to be able to bring you some more special interviews very, very soon with some big name talent like Lance Archer. But guys, you have been watching the SmackDown Lowdown on the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast with me, Adam Cousins. And until next time, everybody, buckle down, stay safe.